how do you help guys who are in the throes of that kind of an addiction or struggling with that sin to understand the importance of authentic relationship?
Yeah. It all comes back to that's what it's about. I think when we start to struggle with that addiction, porn, or any sexual addiction, we can make the mistake, like, this is about the porn, this is about the sex. In our minds, it's like, if I can just like cut that out, if I can just get rid of it, like I'll be better,
Mm.
right? Um, but it's really not about that. Like, it's about like some sort of intimacy and relationship wound that you're coping with, and
Mm.
that's the place that I start with guys, um, for two reasons. Like, one, it's like, let's point to the actual problem here. Like, let's actually like look at, right now you got the wool kind of pulled over your eyes,
Right.
and we can't really see what's going on.
Right.
So
You,
what's
you
the
don't
actual
cover a
problem?
stab wound with a Band-Aid.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Great analogy. It's like, yeah, you're bleeding out. It's like, I'm fine, right? Like, you just got a Band-Aid over it. It's, um, and so, like, if you can actually point to that and be like, yeah, you're bleeding out, like, and this is why, that's huge. But then it's also to like come in with empathy and like understanding. I feel like it's so easy to start beating ourselves up, to thinking we're a terrible human being, to get stuck in shame, to feel like no one else, if somebody sees this, like, they're not going to accept me. Like, if my wife finds out, like, it's done. Like, I'm so screwed.
Mm.
Right. To actually go in there, be like, no, it makes sense. Like, you weren't supposed to understand how to navigate this. Like, we all have mobile porn theaters in our pockets. Like, you weren't supposed to figure it out by yourself. And that's the sad reality, is like, you're told that you need to figure this out by yourself. That, you know, because you found this coping mechanisms, you're somehow worse because, yeah, you know, starting with that place of empathy, it's like, no, like, let's pause and really look at what happened. You know, there was something that you started to cope from when you started to look at this porn. That's the real issue. And empathy in that area is always like this place to start opening up doors to see, like, okay, what is actually going on deeper here? And if you can get to that deeper place, then that's where the real work of healing starts.
Do you find
So-
as you get guys to identify that what that particular relational thing is? I suffered in this relationship. I was dating somebody, and this is what was happening. Or in this area of my life, I never felt like anybody was with me, anybody was supporting me, and porn kind of presented itself as just an easy way to feel something. Do you find that getting them into that relational space helps them to start to work through a little bit more what's going on, and then maybe makes the behavior, looking at pornography, like, makes that less attractive for them?
Yeah, it definitely could, start to meet some of those relational intimacy wounds that haven't been met before.
Mm-hmm.
It gives people like a taste of the thing that their heart's really longing for, but they've been going to porn, which, makes it complicated, because like, it's like, when you see the nature of porn or anything related to sex, it's like, I really just want relationship with a woman. Like, that's going to fix my problems. But it's like, we got to come back to just basic need in general. Like, you need relationship,
Right.
period. And that's really hard for guys to kind of see and own. It's like, oh, like, actually being alone all the time is really detrimental to this porn thing, or, whatever the case may be. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's so many triggers that are related to, interpersonal relationships that, yeah, what you're saying, Father Sam, it's like, when you enter into that relational sphere, that dynamic with somebody, it immediately starts to help. But then also kind of gives you this picture of what it can look like, and then like how you've been living. And when they're like right next to each other, it's a lot easier to see, like, okay, there's something off here about the way that I was living.
Thanks for watching today's video. Let us know what you thought down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.